Hello children, we will start with projectile part 2, in which we will be discussing horizontal projectile, equation of trajectory of a projectile and many more related topics. So, let us start with equation of trajectory. Now, what is trajectory first? Whenever we throw a projectile, it follows a certain path. We have already discussed this. This is how a projectile is projected with the velocity u. Depending upon its velocity of projection and angle of projection, this projectile follows a certain path. Clear? If I take a point px comma y on the path of the projectile, then there is a unique relation between x and y depending on the value of u and theta, right? This equation is called equation of trajectory, and path followed by a projectile is called trajectory of the projectile. So, remember, trajectory is a very important thing and it depends upon the values of u and theta. For example, I can project two objects from the same point. They may have different range and also different heights. So, you can see the range and height attained by them will depend upon the velocities of projection and their angles of projection. So, this point x and y which are located on the path of the projectile, they are uniquely related. So, when we seek a mathematical relation between x and y, where x is the horizontal displacement and y is the which displacement? Vertical displacement. When we relate x and y geometrically, then the relation which we get is called equation of trajectory. So, first things first, what is trajectory? You take a stone and you want to bring down a mango from a tree, then you must aim the stone at the mango in such a manner that the stone which will go as a projectile will pass through the mango, then only the mango will be hit. So, remember, if you are doing a problem in which a bird will be hit or an object will be hit, you make sure that the position of the object will lie on the path of the projectile or will lie on the trajectory. So, we are going to discuss equation of trajectory of a projectile. Now, you know very well that a projectile has two motions at the same time. One is horizontal motion, the other is vertical motion, right? As the projectile will move, then you will find that x and y will continuously be changing, but the time in which it is travelling horizontally distance x is vertically travelling a distance y. So, we will say let px comma y is a point on the trajectory. Let px comma y is a point on the trajectory. Okay. After time t. After how much time till then? After time t. So, like we said that we can break down the motion into two parts, one is horizontal motion, the other is vertical motion. Horizontal motion takes place with horizontal velocity ux and vertical motion takes place with the vertical velocity uy, right. So, we will consider horizontal motion of the projectile. Let us consider horizontal motion of the projectile. For horizontal motion, we know horizontal motion takes with what velocity? Uniform velocity. So, x is equal to how much? Ux into t. So, x is equal to u cos theta into t. Then how much is t? T is equal to x upon u cos theta. This is the horizontal displacement of a projectile. Clear? Now consider vertical motion. If we consider vertical motion of the projectile, then the equation will be y is equal to uyt minus half g into t square. This equation we have already done when we started this chapter. We know that uy is equal to how much? U sin theta. Let's put that value. Put uy is equal to u sin theta, and t is equal to x upon u cos theta, and t is equal to x upon u cos theta. If I put these two values out here, then I get y equals to uy, that is u sin theta, into x upon u cos theta, minus, we put the value of t now, and t how much is the value? X upon u cos theta. So half g into x upon u cos theta whole square, right? So what do we get? We get y is equal to, u and u will cancel out, x sin theta by cos theta minus half g x square upon u square cos square theta. Okay, so finally we get y equals to x tan theta minus gx square upon 2 u square cos square theta. When I look at this equation represents what? A parabola. This equation can be reduced to y minus beta is equal to 4a into x minus alpha whole square, or something like y is equal to 4ax, right? 4x square. Otherwise you can also write x square is equal to 4ay. So whenever you see an equation which has got quadratic term either in x or in y, it represents a parabola. So this motion represents an upward directed parabola. So I'll say since y is directly proportional to x square, hence it follows a parabolic path. So trajectory of a projectile is in fact what? Parabolic. There will be a lot of problems which will be given on this. So make sure that you go through this equation in detail and understand its application. For example, suppose there is a target I want to hit on a wall. Suppose there is a wall and I am throwing it from here. There is a target. Suppose this height is, this horizontal distance x1, and I want to hit a target at height what? y1. And they will ask you whether this target will be hit. Then how will you do? You will make sure that this point is lying on the path of the trajectory. If this point is lying even slightly below or above, then the projectile will pass without making a contact and the target will not be hit. So when you are doing sums on this, make sure that you are using correctly the trajectory of a projectile. Okay? So we discussed trajectory of a projectile. Now the next thing we are going to discuss it, horizontal projectile. We get a lot of sums on horizontal projectile. What is a horizontal projectile? You see, if an object is released from a height, not released, in fact thrown horizontally from a height, it becomes a projectile. Imagine you go to the top of a building like this. Suppose height is what? H, and throw an object horizontally like this with velocity u. Now what will happen to this projectile? Let's try to understand it. At time t is equal to 0, at time t, like this piece of chalk I throw like this horizontally, same thing. At time t is equal to 0, when I throw it, at that instant it has got only a horizontal velocity. It has no vertical velocity because I am throwing it what? How? Horizontally. There is no elevation, there is no depression. I am throwing it what? Horizontally, parallel to the ground, right? Parallel to the x-axis. So, in case of a horizontal projectile, children, here horizontal projectile, ux is equal to u, ux is equal to u, and how much uy? 0. But when the projectile starts moving in air, acceleration due to gravity will pull it down. Acceleration due to gravity will pull it down, and slowly it will start having vertical velocity. There will be two velocities at every point of time. One will be horizontal and the other will be vertical. And finally, the projectile will strike here with a certain velocity v at a certain angle with the horizontal, right? So we are going to find out what will be the range of the projectile r if it is projected horizontally with the velocity u, right? So let's see here. Let height of the projectile is equal to h. Whenever we will study motion of any projectile, we will break down the motion into how many parts? Two parts. One is the horizontal motion and the other is vertical motion. So we will consider these two motions separately. Now remember, very important, after time t the projectile is striking the ground at this point. Let us say this point is P. So when the projectile strikes the ground at point P, then remember, in this time interval t, it is travelling horizontally what distance? R, and vertically what distance? H. So we have to study these two motions together and we will combine them again to generate the overall equation for horizontal projectile. So let us see here. Consider vertical motion. For vertical motion, children, what the equation is? Downward going, h is equal to uyt plus half gt square. Yes? And how much is uy here? Uy is 0. Let us put uy is equal to 0. What do I get? H equals to half g into t square. If you cross multiply, then what do you get? 2h is equal to gt square. So how much is t square? 2h by g, and t is root over 2h by g. So I got the time in which the projectile will travel vertically through what distance? H, and in the same time interval is horizontally travelling what distance? R. So let us see here. Considering horizontal motion. Considering horizontal motion. Children, if you consider horizontal motion, then R equals to how much here? Ux into t. Well, what is t? T is time of flight, and how much is that? Root 2h by g. Now remember, this time of fall is same. Try to understand it nicely. If I take an object through height h and I release it from here, u is equal to 0, it will take the same time. So vertical motion of this object is like what? A free fall. Keep this in mind, right? So r is equal to ux into t. T I have already got, root 2h by g. So let us put it here. R equals to ux is u root over 2h by g. So here we got one equation, r is equal to u root over 2h by g. Now we can convert into an equation also. We can put r is equal to x and h is equal to y. r is equal to x and h is equal to y, then what will you get? X equals to u into root over 2y by g, and then just square it. If you square this, then what do you get? X square is equal to u square into 2y by g, or gx square is equal to 2u square into y. So this is equation of a horizontal projectile. A plane is flying horizontally and releasing a food packet. At what distance will it land during a flood relief operation? This is the equation you have to use. You have to calculate range. Yes, u will be given to you and height will also be given to you. Alright, so when you are dealing with the problems, make sure that you recall all this. So we saw the case of a horizontal projectile. Now many times we come across some variations in this horizontal projectile actually. For example, two projectiles. Let's see question on this. Two projectiles are projected from 980 meter high rock horizontally with velocities 20 meter per second and 30 meter per second respectively. Calculate distance between their points of landing, and suppose G is given as 9.8 meter per second square. Let us see this problem. Here we have a rock, height of the rock is h and h is 980 meter, and then two projectiles are projected from this height in horizontal direction and their velocities are 20 meters per second and 30 meters per second. Now there is a line through the base, horizontal line. This is one projectile, 20 meter per second will come down here, and this other projectile will come here, right? One lands at P, the other landing at Q, right? This is the horizontal line going through the base. The first one is being projected with the speed of 20 meter per second, and the second is being projected with the speed of 30 meter per second. So we can use the unified equation of motion for a projectile. I can derive also. You can see in both the cases horizontal velocity is how much you have given, 20 and 30, and how much initial vertical velocity, 0. We can directly use the equation of projectile, because in both cases actually this range will be r1 suppose, and this range will be r2. So actually we need to calculate what? r2 minus r1. Yes, we need to calculate r2 minus r1. So we'll consider using equation of horizontal projectile. We have x is equal to u root over 2y by g. This is the equation, right? Or you can also write like this: r is equal to u root over 2h by g. Both are good enough. We can use any one of them. Yes. So we'll calculate r1 when u is equal to 20 meter per second. In both cases, height is how much of children? 980 meters, and g of course is 9.8 meter per second square. So let's use here r1 is equal to u1. How much is u? 20 root over 2 into h. H is how much of 980 divided by 9.8. We'll go 100 times. So children, we have 20 square root of 100 is 10 root 2. So how much you get here? 200 root 2 meter. So the first projectile will be landing at what distance? 200 root 2 meter. Similarly, we will be seeing for the second projectile, use 30 meter per second. So R2 will be, its range will be 30 root over 2h. H is how much of 980 divided by 9.8. Yes. If you solve it, how much do you get? 300 root 2 meter. So we got both the ranges. First one is 200 root 2, the second one is 300 root 2. So what is distance? Therefore R2 minus R1 will be 300 root 2 minus 200 root 2. That is 100 root 2 meter. So these two will be landing 100 to 2 meters apart. So it's very important for you whenever you deal with such problem, so use proper concept. Okay. So in fact, in this case, we wanted to find the difference between the two ranges, right? Now children, whenever a projectile is traveling, remember its velocity is always undergoing a change. Velocity is always undergoing a change. Which velocity? Vertical component of velocity. But horizontal velocity will always be same. Horizontal velocity will always be same. Clear? Now I will be calculating velocity of projectile, okay, after time t. After time t. Now our next discussion is velocity of projectile after time t. Like I said, whenever a projectile is projected, then its velocity goes on changing all the time. Suppose I am projecting a projectile from here, like this it goes, here its speed is u and angle of projection is theta. After time t, the projectile is here, its velocity is v, at what angle with the horizontal? Alpha. From O you project, and it is at point what? P. So what I am going to find out is what will be the magnitude of velocity v and at what angle it will be directed. It is a very important concept. Let us work on this. We have done that this velocity will have two components, one is Vx and the other is Vy. And during motion of projectile, Vx will be same as what? Ux, and Vy will be variable because Uy is also variable. So I say like this, let velocity after time t is v, and what angle is making? Alpha. So we will resolve the velocity horizontally and vertically, considering horizontal motion. Let us consider horizontal motion of the projectile, and in horizontal motion of the projectile, you know that horizontal velocity at every point of the motion will remain same, then Vx is equal to Ux. Then how much is Vx children? V cos alpha is equal to u cos theta. I got equation 1. Now next I am going to consider what? Vertical motion. Consider vertical motion. Then Vy is equal to we have uy minus gt. Vy is equal to uy minus gt, and when I look at Vy, it's going to be what? V sin alpha. The vertical component will be Vy is equal to V sin alpha, and horizontal component is how much of V cos alpha. Yes. So if I consider vertical motion, children, I get V sin alpha is equal to uy is u sin theta minus gt. Now this Vx and Vy, they are directly perpendicular to each other. I get a square and equation 1 and 2. So we will say square and add equation 1 and 2. If I square and add, children, then this becomes V square cos square alpha, this becomes V square sin square alpha. So what do we get? V square into cos square alpha plus sin square alpha equals to, if we square the right hand side also, so what do we get? U cos theta whole square plus u sin theta minus gt whole square, right? Now we know that cos square alpha plus sin square alpha is equal to how much? 1. So we get V square is equal to, this is u square cos square theta plus u square sin square theta minus 2 u gt sin theta plus g square t square. Now children, here we take u square common. So what do we get? V square is equal to u square minus 2u gt sin theta plus g square t square. So we calculate got how much V square, or we can write take square root. V is equal to root over u square. You better don't write this value, write the value of V, take square root. So how much is V? V equals to root over u square minus 2u gt sin theta plus g square t square. So we got how much the value of V? We got magnitude of the velocity. But this is not enough. We need to calculate what is the angle, because the answer will not be complete unless you know the angle also. So what I will do is, I will just divide equation 2 by equation 1. Okay. So I will say divide 2 by 1. If we divide equation 2 by 1, then what do you get here, children? V sin alpha divided by V cos alpha, this is u sin theta minus gt divided by V cos theta. Now V and V will cancel out. Sin by cos is how much here? Tan. So we get here tan alpha is equal to u sin theta minus gt divided by u cos theta. So children, we have been able to calculate the magnitude of velocity, and also we have calculated at what angle it will be directed. So depending on what data is given and what is demand of the question, we can use this equation and find out whether it is angle, whether it is time, or whether it is velocity. Okay. Let us see a sample problem on this. Suppose they ask you a question that a projectile is projected with a velocity of 20 meter per second at 37 degree with horizontal. After how much time its velocity will be directed at 30 degree from horizontal? Suppose there is a question like a projectile is projected with speed of 20 meter per second at 37 degree with horizontal, right? After what time? After what time its velocity makes 30-degree angle with horizontal. Suppose I ask you this question. This is the projectile that I am projecting. At what angle, children? 37 degree. With what speed? 20 meter per second. They are saying after how much time it makes angle of 30 degree. Clear? Let us see. Tan alpha is equal to u sin theta minus gt divided by u cos theta. Clear? Suppose it's a 60-degree angle. Let's take a bigger angle. 60-degree angle with any angle can be given to you. Suppose I get this, and for 37 degree, so you know the trick. 37 degree, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. Yes. So let's use this. Alpha is equal to 60 degree if I put, then tan 60 is equal to how much of, children? U. How much is U? 20 sin 37 minus G. Suppose I take 10 into T. I have to calculate. U is 20 cos 37. Right? Let's put in the values. Tan 60 is root 3, 20, 3 by 5 minus 10t, with 20 into 4 by 5. So this is going how many times? 4 times. So children, we get this is gone. Mm-hmm. 20 into 4 by 16. So root 3 is equal to, children, we have 12 minus gt by 16. Clear? So multiply 16 root 3 is equal to how much here? 12 minus g is 10. So this is 10t. So 10t is equal to how much here? 12 minus 16 root 3. Now this is negative. This is negative. So that means what? T is negative. Is it possible? So not possible. Not possible. Means this velocity will never make 60-degree angle with a horizontal. Now, suppose they give you 30-degree angle. In the same equation, I will get tan 30 is equal to, I go back to the same value, only this becomes how much here? Tan 30, that is 1 by root 3, 12 minus 10t by 16, 1 by root 3, 12 minus gt, cross multiply 16 by root 3. So we have gt is equal to 12 minus 16 by root 3. So t is how much here? 1 by g is 10, 12 minus 16 by root 3. So this much time. So if they give you problems where you have to calculate time after which the velocity is directed at certain angles, you can easily do by using this equation, right? It could be 45 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, whatever it is, and if it is impossible, then time will become negative, which is implausible, absurd, so we will reject that answer, not possible, right? About velocity, I want you to understand one more important thing. If I throw a projectile like this is how the projectile moves. if you take any two points at the same height, now this is a technical thing you have to understand. We come across a lot of problems like this. They will ask you find the average velocity of the projectile at 2 points located at the same height. So suppose this is point P and this is point Q. Now what I want you to understand is that if I assume the velocity here is V, then velocity here will also be V. Remember this. So vertical components, they will be V sin theta and they will be directed downwards, V sin theta. So these two will always cancel out. So average along y axis will be 0. But horizontal velocity at each point will be same. I write Q here, V cos theta. And if they ask what is the average velocity between points P and Q, then it will be V cos theta plus V cos theta by 2, which will be V cos theta, and V cos theta same as what? Ux. So if you consider any 2 points which are located at the same height during motion of projectile, then average velocity will be same as u cos theta, because the vertical components will cancel out. Okay. Now in the third part of the projectile, I will be discussing projectile on inclined plane and some more technical points. So only this much. Thank you very much.